Continuing the reading from the fifth book of Moses, called Deuteronomy, from the Old Testament of the Holy Bible, chapter 17 onwards. Chapter 17 onwards from the Old Testament of the Holy Bible, the book of Deuteronomy, which is the fifth book of Moses. Chapter 17. Thou shalt not sacrifice unto the Lord thy God any bullock or sheep wherein is blemish, or any evil favoredness, for that is an abomination unto the Lord thy God. If there be found among you within any of the gates which the Lord thy God giveth thee, man or woman that has wrought wickedness in the sight of the Lord our God, in transgressing his covenant, and has gone and served other gods, worshipped them, the sun, the moon, or any host of heaven, which I have not commanded, and it be told thee, and thou hast heard of it, and inquired diligently, and behold, if it is true, and the thing is certain, that such abomination is wrought in Israel, then thou shalt bring forth the man and the woman, or the woman, which has committed that wicked thing unto the gates, even that man or that woman, and shall stone them with stones till they die. At the mouth of 2 witnesses or 3 witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death, but at the mouth of the 1 witness he shall not be put to death. The hands of the witnesses shall be the first upon him to put him to death, and afterward the hands of all the people too. So thou shalt put the evil away from you. If there arise a matter too hard for thee in judgment, between blood and blood, between plea and plea, and between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within thy gates, then shalt thou rise and get thee up into the place which the Lord thy God shall choose. And thou shalt come unto the priests and the Levites and unto the judge that shall be in those days, and inquire, and they shall shew thee the sentence of judgment. Thou shalt do according to the sentence which they of that place which the Lord shall choose shall show thee. And thou shalt observe to do according to all that they inform thee, according to the sentence of the law which they shall teach thee, according to the judgment which shall they teach thee, thou shalt do. Thou shalt not decline from the sentence which they shall show thee to the right hand nor to the left. And the man that will do presumptuously, and will hearken unto the priest that standeth to minister there before the Lord thy God, or unto the judge, even that man shall die. And thou shalt put away the evil from the Israel. And all the people shall hear and fear, and do no more presumption justly. When thou art gone unto the land, unto the Lord thy God giveth, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set his king above me, like as all nations that are about me. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not stretch a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. But he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt, to the end that he should multiply horses. For as much as the Lord has said unto you, he shall henceforth return no more that way. Neither shall he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away. Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold. And it shall be, when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write him a copy of this law in a book of that which is before the priests, the Levites. And it shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear the Lord his God, to keep all the words of this law and statutes to do them, that his heart shall not be lifted up above his brethren, that he turn not aside from the commandment to the right hand or to the left, to the end that he may prolong his days in the kingdom, he and his children, in the midst of Israel. Chapter 18. The priests, the Levites, and all the tribes of Levi shall have no part in the inheritance with Israel. They shall eat of the offerings of the Lord made by fire, and his inheritance. Therefore shall they have no inheritance among their brethren. The Lord is their inheritance, as he has said unto them. And this shall be the priest's due from the people, from them that offer a sacrifice, whether it be ox or sheep. And they shall give unto the priest the shoulder, and the 2 cheeks, and the maw. The first fruit also of the corn, and of the wine, and the oil, the first of the fleece of the sheep shall thou give him. For the Lord thy God has chosen him out of all thy tribes, to stand to minister in the name of the Lord, him and his sons forever. And if a Levite come from among thy gates out of Israel, where he sojourned, and came with all the desire of his mind unto the place which the Lord shall choose, then he shall minister in the name of the Lord his God, as all his brethren in the Levites do, which stand there before the Lord. They shall have portions to eat, beside that which cometh in the sale of his patrimony. When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of the nations. There shall not be found among you any one that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or enchantments, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with a familiar spirit, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord. And because of these abominations the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God. For these nations which thou shalt possess hearkened unto observers of time and unto diviners. But as for thee, the Lord thy God has not suffered thee to do so. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren like unto me. Unto him all ye shall all hearken, according to all that thou desirest of the Lord thy God in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, Let me not hear again the voice of the Lord thy God, my God, neither let me see this great fire any more, that I die not. And the Lord said unto me, They have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them a prophet from among their brethren like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass that whatsoever will hearken unto my gates, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even the prophet shall die. And if thou shalt say in thy heart, How shall we know the word which the Lord has not spoken? When a prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord, if that thing followeth not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord has not spoken. But the prophet has spoken it presumptuously. Thou shalt not be afraid of him. Chapter 19. When the Lord thy God has cut off the nations whose land the Lord thy God giveth thee, and thou succeedest them, and dwelleth in their cities and in their houses, thou shalt separate 3 cities for thee in the midst of the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it. Thou shalt prepare thee a way, and divide the course of the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee to inherit into 3 parts, that every slayer may flee hither. And this is the case of the slayer which shall flee thither, that he might live. Whoso killeth his neighbor ignorantly, whom he hated not in the time past, as when a man goeth into the wood with his neighbor to hew wood, and his hand fetched a stroke with the axe to cut down the tree, the head slippeth from the head, and lighteth upon his neighbor, that he die, he shall flee unto one of those cities and live, lest the avenger of the blood pursue the slayer, while his heart is hot, and overtake him, because he was not worthy of death, inasmuch as he hated him not in time past. Wherefore I command thee, saying, Thou shalt separate 3 cities for thee, and if thy Lord thy God enlarge thy coast, as he has sown unto thy fathers, and give thee all the land which he promised to give unto the fathers, if thou shalt keep the commandments to do them, which I have commanded thee this day, to love the Lord thy God, to walk ever in his ways, then thou shalt add 3 cities more to thee beside these 3, that innocent blood be not shed in any land, which the Lord God giveth thee for an inheritance, and so blood be upon thee. But if any man hate his neighbor, and lie in wait for him, rise up against him, and smite him mortally that he die, and fleeth into one of these cities, then the elders of the city shall send him, and fetch him thence, and deliver him into the hand of the avenger of blood, that he may die. Then I shall not pity him, but thou shalt put away the guilt of the innocent blood from Israel, that it may go well with thee. Thou shalt not remove thy neighbour's landmark, which they of old time have set in thine inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land of the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it. One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity, or for any sin, in any sin that he sinneth. At the mouth of 2 witnesses, or at the mouth of 3 witnesses, shall the matter be established. If a false witness rise up against a man to testify against him that which is wrong, then both the man and the woman, between them whose the controversy is, shall stand before the Lord, before the priests and the judges, which shall be in those days. And the judges shall make diligent inquisition. And if it witness be a false witness, and has testified falsely against his brother, then shall he do unto him as he thought to have done unto his brother. So shalt thou put evil away from you. And those which remain shall hear and fear, and shall henceforth commit no more such evil among you. And then I shall not pity, but life go for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. Chapter 20. When thou goest out into battle against thine enemies, and seest horses and chariots, and a people more than thou, be not afraid of them, for the Lord thy God is with thee, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be, when ye are come nigh to battle, that the priest shall approach and speak unto the people, and say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto the battle against your enemies. Let your hearts not faint. Fear not, do not tremble, neither be terrified because of them. For the Lord your God is he that goeth with you, to fight for you against your enemies, to save you. And the officers shall speak unto the people, saying, What man is there that has built a new house, and has not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man dedicate it. And what man is he that has planted a vineyard, and has not eaten thereof? Let him also go, return to his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man eat it. And what man is there that has betrothed a wife, and has not taken her? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in battle, and another man take her. And the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, What man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return unto his house, lest his brethren's heart faint as well as his heart. And it shall be, when the officers have made an end of speaking unto the people, and they shall make the captains of the armies to lead the people. When thou comest nigh unto the city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it. And it shall be, if it make thee answer of peace, and open unto thee, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee, and they shall serve thee. And if it will make no peace with thee, but will make war against thee, then thou shalt besiege it. And when the Lord thy God has delivered it into thy hands, thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword. But the women and the little ones and the cattle and all that is in the city, even all the spoil thereof, shalt thou take unto thyself, and thou shalt eat the spoil of thine enemies, which the Lord thy God has given thee. Thus shalt thou do unto all the cities which are very far off from thee, which are not of the cities of these nations, but of the cities of these people, with the Lord thy God that gave thee for an inheritance. Thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth, but thou shalt utterly destroy them, namely the Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, as the Lord thy God has commanded thee, that they teach you not to do after all their abominations which they have done unto their gods. So should ye sin against the Lord your God. When thou shalt besiege a city a long time, in making war against to take it, thou shalt not destroy the trees thereof by forcing an axe against them, for thou mayest eat of them, and thou shalt not cut them down. For the tree of the field is the man's life, to employ them in the siege. Only the trees which thou knowest that be not trees for meat, thou shalt destroy and cut them down, and thou shalt build bulwarks against the city that maketh war with thee, until it be subdued. Chapter 21. If one be found slain in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it, lying in the field, and be it not known who has slain him, then the elders and the judges shall come forth. They shall measure unto the cities which are all round about him that is slain. It shall be that the city which is next unto the slain man, even the elders of the city shall take a heifer which has not been wrought with, and has not drawn a yoke, and the elders of the city shall bring down the heifer unto the rough valley, which is neither eared nor sown, and shall strike off the heifer's neck there in the valley. And the priests and the sons of the Levi shall come near, for them the Lord thy God has chosen to minister unto him, and to bless them in the name of the Lord. And by their word shall every controversy and every stroke be tried. And all the elders of the city that are next unto the slain man shall wash their hands over the heifer that is beheaded in the valley. And they shall answer and say, Our hands have not shed blood, neither have our hands seen it. Be merciful, O Lord, unto the people of Israel, when thou hast redeemed, and lay not innocent blood upon the people of Israel's charge, and the blood shall be forgiven them. So shalt thou put away the guilt of the innocent blood from among you, when thou shalt do that which is right in the sight of the Lord, when thou goest forth to war against thine enemies. The Lord thy God has delivered them into thy hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast set a desire unto her, that thou wouldst have her to thy wife. Then shalt thou bring her home to thy house, shave her head, par her nails, and shall put raiment of her captivity off from her, and shall remain in thy house, and bewail her father and mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go in unto her, be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go with a shevel. But thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. If a man has two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be, when he maketh the sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn, by giving him double portion of all that he hath. For he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him will not hearken unto them, then shall the father and the mother lay hold of him, bring him into the elders of the city, and unto the gate of his place. And they shall say unto the elders of the city, This our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. And all the men of the city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shalt thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. And if a man has committed a sin worthy of death, and he be put to death, and thou hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but thou shalt in any wise bury him that day. For he that is hanged is accursed of God, that thy land not be defiled, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance.